Coming up on MCTV this week, we take you through the highlights of homecoming and give you a preview of Dog Sees God. This week starts now. Welcome to MCTV This Week with Jane Simpkins. I'm Haley Turner. Students got a taste of the courtroom on campus last week. MC held its first ever moot court debate. The court provides students with the opportunity to debate a legal case in a courtroom-like setting. Retired Circuit Judge Ron Tnald, political science professor Annika Hagley, and the Dean of Faculty, David Timmerman, served as judges. Junior political science major Morgan Hubbard was named the top advocate for the competition.
To tell you how close an issue this was about the establishment of religion clause and a cross being erected on public land, this U.S. Supreme Court divided 5-4 in their decision. They actually sent it back to a lower court to make some further determinations. And they were just like the presenters were tonight, the advocates. They took various sides and they didn't agree on the eventual outcome. And so that tells you how close a question this is and how it probably will bear watching in the future.
Got a first-hand chance of analyzing a court case, a real court case, and coming up with my own argument and actually presenting it, which was like the most awesome thing.
Timmerman and Hagley worked together in staging this competition, which is a common second-year law school practice. They hope to make the moot court an annual event.
To kick off homecoming this year, students and organizations came together for the Spirit Shout Friday night. Sororities, fraternities, the cheerleading squad, and the dance team performed routines to excite the crowd for the big game the following day. Overall, the ladies of Pi Beta Phi and the gentlemen of Sigma Phi Epsilon won the Spirit Shout.
It's one of the only times during the year that we all get together as an organization with another organization, and we spend like an entire week together preparing, and so it's really nice to get everyone together.
Saturday morning before the football game, the homecoming parade drew students, professors, alumni, and Monmouth residents in to see floats and organizations ride down Broadway.
I love watching the parade. I haven't missed a parade since I was a child, except for 1992 when I was in Europe. I grew up in this area. I now live in Jacksonville, Illinois, but I still have relatives up here, so it's a kind of two-in-one thing. I can see the parade, visit folks that I went to school with, but also visit my family and relatives that are in the area.
Along with the normal homecoming activities, the new outdoor classroom was dedicated in front of Wallace Hall. The classroom was a senior gift from the class of 2011. Stay tuned, Ross will have complete coverage of the homecoming football game later in sports.
With the spookiest night of the year right around the corner, we want to make sure all Monmouth College students are prepared with some safety tips. When celebrating, make sure that you do not walk alone on or off campus. Be aware of your alcohol consumption and be aware of the alcohol consumption of those around you. Have fun and keep in mind that no matter what character you're dressed up as, the consequences of drinking are a reality. Taking a look at some events on campus this week. Friday, there will be an underground program with carving pumpkins and treats at 9 p.m. Monday, October 31st, Pi Beta Phi and Fiji host the annual Red Cross Blood Drive in the Huff from 10:30 to 4:30.
Coming up in sports after the break. The Scots are undefeated so far in conference, and they took on Beloit for homecoming. Welcome back. Now, after an uncomfortably close win last weekend against Lake Forest College, the Scots came back for homecoming against Beloit. Beloit kicked off the scoring with a touchdown first possession, but Monmouth answered with a 4-yard touchdown connection. Alex Tanney to Mike Blodgett. Only got 6 out of it, though, as Batten missed the extra point. Monmouth on the 12-yard line now. Trey Yoakum's got the ball. He's been their go-to all year. He finds his way into the end zone. 13-7 Scots. Into the third quarter now. Check this out. Scots running back Michael Buney goes sideline to sideline, bobs and weaves, and he's going to eventually find his way right now into the promised land. Scots up 49-34. Scots came out on top 63-41, but let's talk about Mike Blodgett. Perfect pass from Tanney, got 1 foot in, that's all he needed. Not only did he have a heck of a game and 2 touchdowns, but he broke the touchdown receptions record for Monmouth College.
It's a nice record, but I'm very fortunate to be a part of some very good Monmouth teams, and with that becomes a lot of success. And I got one of the best quarterbacks in D3 throwing me the ball. Makes my job a lot easier when it's put right there for me.
It was definitely a shootout. I thought that we needed to get off the field a little bit defensively, and we felt that we were going to be able to move the ball offensively against them. But in the end, it ended up being on the right side of the scoreboard.
This Saturday, the team travels to Waukesha, Wisconsin to take on Carroll University. Now, the women's volleyball team took to the court last Thursday night for senior night against Cornell College Rams. Monmouth entered this game with a record of 9-13 and the Rams at 20-5. In the first match, Monmouth could not come back from an early deficit and ended up losing 13-25. Entering the third match, Monmouth was down 2 sets and started the third leading, but the Rams would make a comeback and the Rams would win 16-25. The women faced Illinois College last night and won 3-1. This weekend, they're headed to the Illinois Wesleyan Tournament. Now, just a heads up, the History Channel has released an air date for the Superhuman episode with Alex Tanney. They're calling him Mr. Ballistic, and that'll be November 17th, so make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second. Here are your scores for this week.
An old comic strip classic will get a new grown-up twist this weekend in the Witt Theater. Doxy's God is a stage adaptation of the classic Peanuts comic strip. The characters are now in their teens and struggling with the identity crisis of high school, including issues of drugs, alcohol, and stereotyping. The show is completely student-run, from the acting to handmade costumes to the directing. MC Senior and play director Mary Bolander says it's different because it deals with issues that people may be uncomfortable with.
Well, I think this deals with some very raw issues that a lot of people try to keep hush-hush. There's a lot of really harsh language in this. There's a lot of the reality of situations that not a lot of people like to think about. And in the Wit, you're this far from an actor, so it's pretty much in your face.
The show opens tomorrow night at 7:30 and runs through Saturday evening with a matinee at 2 on Sunday. Tickets are available by calling 309-457-2104.
And that's MCTV This Week. I'm Ross Donnan.
And I'm Jane Simpkins. Make sure to tune in next week for another episode of MCTV.
And I'm Haley Turner. You can also watch us on the web by going to monmouthcollege.edu/MCTV. See you next time.